So reports have been breaking everywhere that R. Kelly disgraced former hit R&B singer. I mean, not former, guess he still has them hits. You know, as I always share whenever R. Kelly's name comes up, like so many other people out there, right? I was a huge fan of Kel's. I mean, the music hits differently when you look into the type of sick ish that he was doing in his life. You know what I mean? It's pretty fucking downright disturbing, honestly. But a lot of people just defend him. As you see, some people are saying, man, just because Kel's had some hits, people defend him. Or you've seen a lot of people say, well, R. Kelly was doing this, but what about these individuals? Like, yo, lock them the fuck up too, man. You know what I'm saying? Get all these sick demons up out of here, is my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, it's more than proven what Kells was up to. I mean, the dude, R.I.P. Aaliyah. We know the way that all went down, and the feds came and got individuals involved in that case, his case, that were involved in forging documents and all that to put that illegal underage marriage into a reality. It's so sick and twisted, man. But here he is currently locked up still. Reports are out of the overdose, but it's not an overdose in the sense that you would think. You know, like, was Kells behind bars getting high and the feds, you know, unhappy with his circumstances? He can do nothing to escape it other than to get on whatever the fuck they're getting high off in federal prisons or whatever. No, they're saying it was a different kind of an overdose of medication that was given to him by federal COs trying to kill him. There's been these documents, that have come out, that have been filed. They're trying to put in all these emergency motions saying R. Kelly needs surgery, he has blood clots in his lungs, and they're messing with his medication. Another inmate has come out, and what's his name, Mikhail Stein, who has said that he can second that they're trying to take Kells out. And it's so wild. We just saw with the Tory Lanez case, the way he got shanked up, and right at the same time there was a big breaking news update with a security guard coming forth that used to work for someone who was involved in that case. And if y'all didn't hear that update, I'm sure most people did. The words of this security guard are basically saying, or not basically saying, Tory Lanez is not the one that fired the gun. And a lot of people are like, man, what type of timing is this? Right when this news comes out that could possibly clear Tory Lanez's name, he gets shanked up. Is there some kind of deeper conspiracy to all this? As there was so many conflicting reports about what went down, why Tory Lanez was shanked up, and we found out that the guy that shanked Tory Lanez was some sick, wicked demon pedo on some R. Kelly type time, and running around with an underage girl and committing some whole other fucked up crimes, man. It's so scary out here. Keep your family safe, y'all. Keep your loved ones close to you. Don't let them fall into the belly of the beast. It's crazy, man. But getting back to talking about R. Kelly, when I see this, I say, well, if they gave him this lethal dose of meds, they've been messing with his meds, allegedly, reportedly, right? Not giving them to him. Why, if they gave him a lethal amount, why did he take it in confinement? I can't quite understand. Did they force him to take it? By the allegations that R. Kelly's legal team is putting out there against the federal prison system, it wouldn't be a stretch, according to them, that they would do something like this, because they're saying that they're trying to cover up crimes that the federal justice system committed against in this case, to convict R. Kelly. They committed crimes to get him convicted, to get him in prison, and that they allegedly are trying to kill him to cover it all up. They're even saying at one point in time recently, R. Kelly was in the hospital and they came in there with guns and took him up out of there and took him back to prison and threw him back in confinement. And as far as those documents, let me know if you guys are buying this, what your thoughts about it all are. This is some stuff petitioned to try to get R. Kelly emergency furlough, they're saying, comes now defendant Robert Sylvester Kelly by and through counsel, etc. I'm skipping over some of this stuff. Obviously, the formalities of attorneys and all that, right? Hereby provide a supplement to his emergency motion for temporary furlough. In support of his motion, Mr. Kelly provides as follows. Mr. Kelly only wishes that he could wait until the filing of his reply to the government's response regarding jurisdiction before making another submission to the court. However, the conduct of the Bureau of Prisons and the worsening threat to Mr. Kelly's well-being does not afford him that luxury. While the allegations made by Michael Glenn Stein were shocking, so this is this other inmate who is saying they're trying to take R. Kelly out as well. He's backing R. Kelly's story. Are shocking. The events that have transpired since the filing of Mr. Kelly's motion for temporary furlough are equally stunning, but yet undeniable when combined with what has already been asserted. The recent events plainly support Mr. Stein's accusation that Bureau of Prisons officers are seeking to kill Robert Kelly to cover up crimes committed in the investigation of his case. So like I said, they're saying this is this deep conspiracy, right? Government counsel responded to Mr. Kelly's motion with words like fanciful and theatrical. They can use whatever words they like. The problem for the government is that the allegations in Mr. Kelly's motion are not his. They are allegations of people who participated in crimes committed by government officials in the effort to make federal cases against R. Kelly, and in a plot to take Mr. Kelly's life as a means to covering up those crimes. For those who doubt the idea that the Bureau of Prison officers seek to harm Mr. Kelly, the recent events described below will replace skeptical doubt with stunned recognition of an undeniable reality. Mr. Kelly's life is in danger, and the threat comes from Bureau of Prisons officers whose duty is to protect him. As we have indicated, Mr. Kelly was sent to solitary confinement against his will shortly after the filing of his motion. A legal call with his attorney was canceled without explanation. Questions about his physical well-being went unanswered. On June 16, 2025, the reasons became apparent. Finally able to speak to Mr. Kelly by phone, the undersigned learned the following shocking revelations. Mr. Kelly went to solitary confinement with his medications in his possession on June 10, 2025. He takes medications for anxiety and to help him sleep, in addition to other medications. While in solitary confinement, prison staff approached him and he showed them the medications in his possession. This will appear on camera footage from the institution. Later in the evening, personnel came to Mr. Kelly's cell and provided him with additional medications and instructions to take it. That's where I'm saying, well, why would he take it? Why wouldn't he refuse the meds? I don't know if we're going to see something in here like they made him do it. Like I was stating there, making some very bold claims. You know, do you believe it? What do you think about it all? I mean, it can get grimy behind that wall. This ain't nothing new that we haven't heard. The COs can play grimy, but are they really trying to kill R. Kelly as he's trying to, get this emergency furlough? And, his legal team is saying they committed crimes in prosecuting R. Kelly and they are willing to kill to cover it up. This too will be captured on camera. So they're saying all this, there's footage, will it be clear in the footage? Will the court have no choice to not be able to ignore this, or what? Mr. Kelly took the medication as directed. This was on June 12, 2025, after the undersigned filed a document revealing the solitary confinement conditions experienced by Mr. Kelly. In the early morning hours of June 13, 2025, Mr. Kelly awoke. He felt faint. He was dizzy. He started to see black spots in his vision. Mr. Kelly tried to get up, but fell to the ground. He crawled to the door of the cell and lost consciousness. He pleaded for a gurney. Prison officials wanted him to be taken to the on-site medical facility, but staff there could not assist him. Consequently, Mr. Kelly was taken by ambulance to nearby Duke University Hospital. While in the ambulance, he heard one of the prison officers with him state, quote, "This is going to open a whole new can of worms." So you hear what's going down, and, according to R. Kelly's legal team, and that he flat out heard them saying, "This is going to open a whole new can of worms," aka we got to take this man out. At the hospital, Mr. Kelly learned that he had been administered an overdose quantity of his medications that threatened his life. He required hospitalization for 2 days to treat it. That means that within 2 days of filing his motion, Bureau of Prison officials administered an amount of medication that significantly exceeded a safe dose and caused Mr. Kelly to OD, putting his life in jeopardy. They gave him an amount of medicine that could have killed him. Unfortunately, administering an OD quantity of meds to Mr. Kelly just days after his exposure of a Bureau of Prisons plot to kill him is not the end of the Bureau of Prisons actions that put his life in jeopardy. It actually gets much worse. So how much deeper can this go? This is some wild claims already. For many months now, Mr. Kelly has been seeking medical attention for an obviously swollen leg. He has a history of blood clots and has been worried about further clots forming. Earlier this year, Mr. Kelly received what was supposed to be a scan for blood clots. He was then told by prison medical staff that they were only authorized to advise him that he would no longer be receiving blood thinners. He was taken off blood thinners at that time. This was in the past approximately 3 months. So now they're saying he's got clots. They won't give him the thinners. What do you guys think, man? I mean, if this is all indeed true and there's camera footage and documentation at the hospital, shouldn't be too hard to prove, you know what I mean? Or is the hospital in on it too? I don't know, you know what I mean? At Duke University Hospital, Mr. Kelly showed the doctors his leg. He shared his fears and concerns. The hospital did a scan for clots. The scan revealed blood clots in his right leg, blood clots in his left leg, and clots in his lungs. The hospital indicated he would need to be kept for 7 days and scheduled for surgery to clear the clots. He was immediately placed, back on blood thinners that Butner medical staff discontinued. When advised to be, he required surgery and needed to be kept for 2 weeks. Officers assigned to Mr. Kelly in the hospital contacted the officers at Butner. Within an hour, officers with guns came to his hospital room and removed Mr. Kelly. He was taken from the hospital against his will, against the directives of the doctors. So they're like, yo, we need him to be here a week. He's got to be back on these blood thinners. He needs surgery. That the prison sent individuals over strapped up to come get him out of there. Now, again, this shouldn't be something that is hard to prove if it is indeed true, right? He was taken from the hospital against his will and against the directives of the doctors. He was denied the surgery. He needs to be clear blood clots in his lungs that threaten his life. This happened. This will be confirmed by hospital records. So y'all heard what I was saying. If this indeed is what it is, it shouldn't be hard to prove. There should be documentation, especially in regards to the hospital, and that's what they're citing right in this paperwork here. It is undeniable. Mr. Kelly's life is in jeopardy right now because the Bureau of Prisons denied him necessary surgery to clear clots from his lungs. He could die from this condition, and they're letting it happen. There is no legitimate explanation for that. And what did the Bureau of Prison officials do with an inmate just diagnosed with multiple blood clots at an outside hospital who needs surgical intervention? They took him out of the hospital and returned him to solitary confinement, not even to the Butner Medical Facility. Mr. Kelly reports it is extremely cold in solitary confinement. He has requested an extra blanket, and Kelly reports, and was told only, quote, the captain says no. So, according to R. Kelly's legal team, they're just flat out trying to take him out and make him uncomfortable and cold in the process. Mr. Kelly was on the phone with the undersigned today in tears, afraid that they will kill him or let him die. Tragically, he has every reason to feel that way. The conduct of the BOP gives him every reason to feel that way. It is useful to juxtapose the declaration of Mikhail Stein with the conduct of Bureau of Prison officials since that declaration became public. So again, Stein is the other inmate who's saying he heard some of this, observed some of this going on. He exposed what he indicated was a Bureau of Prisons plot to kill Mr. Kelly in order to cover up crimes committed by DOJ and Bureau of Prisons. So the Department of Justice and the Bureau of Prisons, according to these claims, are collaborating in an effort to kill Kells, to cover up the crimes that they committed to prosecute R. Kelly. I mean, this is a wild story, man, right? Cover up crime. Officials during the investigation of his cases, this raised shock and skepticism from some. The Bureau of Prisons officials have responded to his allegations by 1, putting Mr. Kelly in solitary confinement against his will, 2, ODing him on prescription meds administered by prison staff, and 3, removing him from the hospital where they intended to perform surgery. 2, we got another page. Apologies, y'all. Or no, I believe that's it. Or I'm sure that there seems to be more, but I don't have it in front of me. But y'all get what they're saying, man. And they got inmate Stein to back it all up. So, it's a little deceiving when you see it in the news. R. Kelly overdosed. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't that kind of overdose. It reportedly is what y'all heard there, an overdose to cover up this fucked up, evil criminal conspiracy by the Bureau of Prisons, Federal Bureau of Prisons, and the Department of Justice. Could this all be true? And again, according to my theory, as I was taking all this in about, well, the hospital, I don't know, would they lie about this? There's got to be documentation of what went on when he was in there. You know what I mean? Like, they're saying they told him, hey, he needs to be back on these blood thinners. Why would you take him off them? And I'm paraphrasing. This ain't quoting, y'all. You know what I mean? But then they said, okay. And he also has clots in multiple spots, including his lung. We need him here for a week. We need to operate. And they came in with guns and took him back, threw him back into solitary, and gave him this possible lethal level overdose, but he survived. So is he, what will be the outcome? Is he still in the hospital currently? Like, there's just so much going on, man. As I stated in the beginning of this video, when it comes to the crimes that Kells was convicted of, I don't doubt it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of smoking guns out there. R. Kelly was doing what he was doing for many years. But, they're alleging, and that was proof. Like I said, who marries an underage girl like that? Like, that's some sick, twisted ish. But R. Kelly's legal team is saying in prosecuting him, they took some illegal measures and they're not trying to go down for it. As R. Kelly's been filing all kinds of appeals since he's been in custody, since he's been convicted. And, allegedly, reportedly, this other inmate heard the CO saying, listen, this is going to open a whole nother can of worms, so it's the COs, the Bureau of Prisons and the Department of Justice coming together, trying to take R. Kelly out to protect themselves, to cover their errors, according to these allegations, man. So there you have it. R. Kelly overdosed in a different type of way. What do you think about it? Stay tuned for updates. Subscribe to the channel. It's Coffee. I'm up out of here. Peace.